In this episode of the How to Get on Reality TV podcast, we're going to answer the question, can you have too perfect of an audition video? Welcome to the How to Get on Reality TV podcast with Dan Giesling, where I answer your reality TV casting questions once a week. Welcome to another episode of the How to Get on Reality TV podcast. Super excited for another live question from you guys, the audience. Before we get into the question, I do want to let you guys know that there is a video boot camp. It's a series of 4 videos that takes you through beginning to end on how to create your video. It walks you through the process. So if you're not someone who likes to read and thumb through this, like the guide, this is a perfect alternative for you. It includes worksheets. It takes you by the hand and gets you to where you need to be. You can check that out by going to howtogetonrealitytv.net/video to find out more about the How to Get on Reality TV.net video boot camp, the solution to your struggles and creating your audition video, creating your story, and so on and so forth. So you can go to howtogetonrealitytv.net/video to check that out. But let's go ahead and jump into the question of the week, which is from Parm. And Parma has an interesting question about, hey, can you be too perfect in the audition process? Let's go ahead and take a listen to Parm's question.
Hey Dan, Parm from Canada here. 2 quick questions for you. One, is it possible you can make an audition tape that works against you? A super epic audition tape where that it's like way too good and they're like, this guy is planning too much and therefore he's not being his true self, so we're not going to give him a call back. And 2, is it possible that you can make a bad first impression? The reason why I asked this is last year I got a semi-final callback interview, and this year I made an epic audition tape, didn't hear back from them, and I went to an open casting call being my enthusiastic self, even more so than last year because I got through last year and didn't even hear back from them either for that. So A, can you make a super epic audition tape? And B, if you have a semi-final callback interview, is it possible you can ruin your shot for future coming seasons just by giving a bad first impression? Take care, Dan. Much appreciated for the podcast.
All right, so Parm has a really interesting question as to, can you be too perfect? Can you be so bulletproof in your interview that you come off as not genuine or fake? And to answer this question, I'm actually going to share with you guys a personal story. You know, I've coached people for many different shows through many different processes, but there's an individual who, had applied for a show, never heard back, and said, hey, Dan, I want you to coach me through the process. So we got him through. We did his audition video, got him through semifinals, got him to finals, and I'm coaching him this whole time. And he got to finals of a specific show. And when he got there, and I talked to him before and after the interview, I was highly, highly concerned based on the questions they were asking him. And a lot of them were centered around, hey, we're not sure which version of you is going to show up today. Hey, this seems like it's too good to be true. Hey, is this how you really feel? So he fielded a lot of questions that indicated that the people on the other end of the interview weren't buying what they were selling because he had done such a good job. He went over the top. He had become a politician. He had become like almost a plastic figure of himself, this perfect character, if you will. There were no flaws. And so, here's a metaphor, and this may or may not make sense to you, but I was thinking about how to best break this down for you guys. Okay, if you see someone, you're like, okay, what kind of car do they drive? Okay, that person probably drives a Ford Taurus. Okay, is a person that drives a Ford Taurus going to get on a reality TV show by the way they act because they drive a Ford Taurus? Probably not. And I use a Ford Taurus because that's what I drive. But if that person who's used to driving a Ford Taurus pulls up in a Lamborghini, you probably go to that guy and you'd be like, that's not your Lamborghini, or you can't afford that Lamborghini, or you don't belong in that Lamborghini. You're like, okay, that person doesn't fit with what's going on. However, can a person who drives a Ford Taurus act like they're driving a Lamborghini with the same amount of like swagger and confidence that can get them cast on a reality TV show? You better believe it. So I don't know if that metaphor makes any sense, but to me it's like you don't need to be in a Lamborghini to get cast on a reality TV show. You've got to have the confidence that you're driving a Lamborghini without seeming like a politician and seeming fake. So really, it's tough, but to answer your question, Parm, yes, you can be too flawless. You can't be too perfect. You can't be too fleshed out, and you have too highly of a produced video and all the perfect answers to every question. And that's going to hurt you if you come off that way. So, you have to feel uncomfortable when you're going through this process, because if you feel comfortable, probably you're not very energetic. You're probably, you're not doing something different. To be on reality TV, you can't it's not just, hey, show up and you're on the show. For a very small percentage of people that are naturally dynamic, they can pull that off. But you got to be uncomfortable when you're going through the process, but you can't be uncomfortable to the point when you're feeling fake and you're saying things that you don't even agree with and that you may not even believe in, but it fits your character better. So, just don't be flawless. If there's a question where you haven't thought about the answer, just answer how you normally would. Just react like you normally would. You can get yourself in a position where you can take some questions in a semifinal interview out of left field that you may not expect. But if you look like you're trying to craft the perfect answer instead of shooting from the hip in something you haven't prepared for and shooting how you truly feel, then you're going to get yourself in trouble. So Parm, I hope I answered the question. Yes, can you be too perfect? Without a doubt. I know that firsthand. The second question you asked was, hey, you've got to the semifinals before. If you didn't do well there and you gave a bad first impression, are your chances blown from there on out? No, of course not. It may not have been the right fit. It may not have been the right dynamic between you and the person in the semifinal interview. Next year may be a different person interviewing you for the semifinals. You don't know. Is that person going to remember you? Honestly, are they going to remember that maybe, hey, that you blew it or you said something you regret or whatnot? Honestly, probably not. They may recognize you, but are they going to remember everything that you said or why you didn't make it? Probably not. The one thing I will say, the one way you can wreck your chances is by being creepy and being overly contacting people in casting, contacting them on Facebook, sending them emails, calling them, texting them out of control. That's how you can blow your chances. If you go to semifinal, you don't do so well, that's not a big deal. You come back the next year, you get better, you get more confidence, but don't be creepy. Parm, thank you so much for asking those questions, for asking both those questions and submitting them through the site. As a small thank you, we're going to send you a free digital copy of my story, How a Normal Guy Got Cast on Reality TV, as a thank you for going to howtogetonrealitytv.net/ask and asking your question. So Parm, best of luck, man. It sounds like things didn't go your way this season, but you know what? I like that. I like where your head's at, and best of luck next season. Thanks for the question. And if you guys have a question that you want answered on the podcast, you can go to howtogetonrealitytv.net/ask, and you can answer it through your tablet, through your phone, through your browser. There is there's an app that's built right in. It's super easy to do, and I love doing this. It's hearing, where Parm's coming from is a lot different than reading an email. And that's why I love doing the show, because I know no matter what, I know this is going to help Parm, and I'm guessing it's going to help some of the other guys and girls that are listening to this. But thank you so much for the question, Parm. I appreciate it. All right, and that wraps up another episode of the How to Get on Reality TV podcast. If you guys are interested in taking this one step further and really taking your process from A to Z in casting, if you feel like, hey, you know what, I made it to semis, but I blew it, or hey, I didn't get to semifinals, but I felt I was right there. I'd encourage you guys to check out the How to Get on Reality TV video boot camp. It's going to take you through, a lot of people have gone through and said, hey, this changed my perspective on how I'm presenting myself, or it forced me to tweak this, or it made me rethink how I'm presenting myself. And I know it's helped out a lot of people. So if you want to check it out, you can check it out by going to howtogetonrealitytv.net/video. That wraps up another episode of the podcast. Thank you guys so much for listening. I appreciate all the support. I appreciate you guys taking the time out to listen to this, and I hope it's helping you on your casting journey. As always, I will be back next Monday answering your questions right here on the podcast. See you guys next week.